It was in the end the KL Rahul show. I mean, an appreciation night is what me and Brian Lara will have right now in this review of Chennai versus Punjab because Punjab, they tried to get it, but they simply couldn't. First and foremost, let's of course talk about KL Rahul because 98 not out of 42. Is that one of the best innings you've seen in IPL history?
Yeah, definitely one of the best. From one of my favorite players, I just felt that you know what, if I was to go for Punjab Kings, sometimes I go for Puran, but majority of times I go for KL Rahul. I just felt that the team may not have the spirit, knowing fully well that it'd be a Herculean effort to even qualify. But it shows that the Punjab Kings had a fight till the end and they dominated CSK. And look at the man; he did the job in style. There was no you know, we call it swiping in the Caribbean. There was no swiping. There was elegant cricket shots, and he was just outstanding. It is one of the best that I've seen. I mean, just off chasing 135, 136, and to get 98 out of it was just a great. It wasn't a one-man show. He needs to put on partnership, and he needed some help, especially to accelerate the run rate. But he was just outstanding. KL Rahul will forever, for me, be one of the greats in the game, especially as he spent more time playing Test cricket. I feel he's just heading in that direction.
Right. So talk about KL Rahul, and it was fantastic to see because he scored 8 sixes in this match, which meant he scored the most sixes. And we asked that for the fans, but no one got it, unfortunately. Let's move on and talk about Chennai then, because Dhoni at the toss made a very critical statement about him and the players not knowing about the retention policies, and it's still murky. But what do you have to say about the man himself in Chennai? Do you think they will eventually retain him?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is not just a franchise cricket or a cricket tournament. This is a brand. And Dhoni, along with Virat Kohli, are the two biggest brands in India. Obviously, you want to pick the best team and you want to make sure that everybody is fit and everybody is capable of performing at the highest level. But Dhoni would not be satisfied with his performances. But to me, he's hinted that it's not the end of the road for him. And it's very difficult to see a CSK going into 2022 and Dhoni heading into some other franchises. Very, very difficult to see that. So I believe on in terms of the value of the brand and what he brings to the IPL, what he brings to his CSK owners and the whole franchise is of great value. So I believe that they will stick their head out and grab him if they need to retain any players.
Interesting that. And you can watch this space in cricket.com to find out more in terms of retention policies and whatnot, because there'll definitely be some news from the grapevine. Speaking of Chennai, though, I just want to touch upon it. I know they lost, but they're going to be taking on Delhi by the looks of things, Brian. Now, there is a stat going about. In IPL 2021, Chennai Super Kings, they have won 5 out of 5 games batting second. Is chasing their winning formula?
You know what? It's always good to know what the opposition put on the board. I also believe that the depth of batting and the experience of the batting that they have, they will always keep themselves in a game when chasing. Our bowling department is starting to look a little bit fragile. And I know Bravo took some wickets. Deepak Chahar is someone you can depend on in the first few overs. But it's starting to get knocked about a bit. And a lot of teams are realizing that this might be the weak point of the Chennai Super Kings. So, yes, for me, let the team bat first. And with that length of batting order, with Jadeja coming in at 6 or anywhere around that back end, I believe that chasing is not going to be a bad idea for CSK.
And just quickly from my side, CSK, we spoke about it in the preview. You said that if they lose 3, momentum could be a factor going into the playoffs. They face DC. Do you think that is something which is a cause for concern?
Yes, most definitely, because DC is playing very good cricket. I still feel that there's a little bit of exposing to do with the DC batting as well. I'm not so 100% sure that they have what it takes to go all the way, like how a Mumbai Indians did it with their batting. I believe that it's still a very young brigade with Rishabh Pant leading the way. She's Iyer. Of course, they have the experience of Shikhar Dhawan, but Prithvi Shaw, Hetmeyer, You're asking a lot in a very big tournament. So on that side, I think there is a little bit of weakness in Delhi, but losing three on the bounce, Delhi's bowling attack is where their strength is, and I think that they will come after CSK's batting. They will try to expose them with pace, experienced spin bowlers in Ashwin and Axar Patel. It's a toss up. It's you never know, but I just believe that you know if that match do come around, I don't think it will be a close encounter. I feel that one team is going to stand out simply on the fact that they bowl better on the day.
Now, that is well said indeed. And let's see how it really peters up because that is some clash indeed. Right, time for predictions because it was a stalemate between Brian and the robot today in both games. We'll decipher them one by one. You already spoke about KL Rahul because at the end of the day, it was almost a World T20 audition for the boy. And he also said he's going to preserve his bat. So we know that from batsmen like you. Bowlers, I asked you this, I think, not too long ago about Shardul Thakur being maybe a prize element for India looking ahead. He got 3 for 28, and hence I ask you this question. How do you rate him as an all-rounder, as a T20 bowler?
I mean, these guys know what they're doing. They may look pedestrian at some point, and they don't carry the same pace as the top fast bowlers in the world, but they have an idea of what they're doing. And part of this T20 game is not about sheer pace or massive spin. Little subtle changes in your action and how you deliver the ball and some experience is what is necessary. That's what Thakur is actually giving CSK. He's giving them that experience. We see it with Hashal Patel as well, and they just know what they're doing. So I rate him. I think he's a fair performer. He's an honest performer, and there are certain things that you can rely on him on.
Okay, let's see how he really goes about his things in the business end of the competition. Speaking of which, we asked the fans about KL Rahul, and none of them got that right. But the stat of the day, in fact, is KL Rahul. And get this, Brian, now he scored the most runs for the Punjab franchise, overtaking Sean Marsh, who had 2,477. He now stands 2,503, which is quite something. And that's your boy, KL Rahul. So let's finish this preview by just having appreciation for him. 3 words to sum up his innings today, please.
3 words. Class, memorable, and devastating.
Absolutely. I think that resembles you back in the heyday as well with the bat in hand. But we'll leave it there. More to come. Watch his space because Brian, of course, is going to chat about a lot of things, including Sunday night's encounters as well.